The plan.
We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much. We teach girls to shrink themselves, to make themselves smaller. We raise girls to see each other as competitors, not for jobs or for accomplishments, which I think can be a good thing, but for the attention of men. We say to girls, you should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you will threaten the man.
I'm a hustler, I'm a hustler, homie. I'm a hustler,
Priyanka, Chopra.
I'm a hustler.
Risks to evolve. Because if you've not truly explored the full extent of your possibilities, you'll always remain stagnant. People have written me off several times in my career. Sometimes they didn't agree with my choices. When I played a negative character in my film Aetrals, very early in my career, I was told I'll be a vamp and no one will cast me as a heroine. When I took on a female-centric film called Fashion, again very early on in my career, I was told that was not norm. When I signed a US TV show at the height of my film career in India, each time the risks were huge. The stakes were high and the repercussions could have been, to say not the least, career ending. Thank God they weren't, and I'm still standing in front of you. I really appreciate God. I don't know what will happen going forward, but as of now, I can say that my risks and the gamble was worth it. You know why? Because I backed up those risks with my 100%. So rule number 7, be bold and take these risks. Now, friends, family, the people you work with, the people around us are our greatest influencers in your journey to success. So you have to choose very wisely. Rule number 8, surround yourself with the right people who do not stab you in the back. Now, who's into social media? Who's on social media? Raise your hands. Yeah, we like it. I like it. We can raise our hands. All right, it's almost everyone. Now, keep your hands raised if you have ever been upset by like a bad comment that you may have read on a photograph or like on Facebook or when you've posted something. And sometimes, you're just like, why do people have to be mean? Yeah, so there's a lot of you, right? Guys, please let me just tell you this. No matter what you do, someone will always be unhappy. Always. Especially in this age of social media, it's so easy for us to be confused between the voices that actually matter and the opinions of faceless people writing behind the anonymity of what the web offers. They don't matter.
Every thought we create in.
So rule number 9, you can never please everyone all the time. And the biggest favor that you will all do to yourselves will be to laugh at yourself, at situations. Find a moment to appreciate every single day this funny thing called life. And that's my most important rule number 10. Don't take yourself too seriously. We're not making rockets. All right? Calm down, have fun, and just enjoy this beautiful journey that we've been put on. I do that. In the meanwhile, hi. It's really not that hard, in my experience, to be kind, to be compassionate, to be human. You will never know someone else's full story, so don't be quick to judge. My mother, who's here tonight with the rest of my family, she taught me when I was very, very young that there is always someone who will be less fortunate than you. Always. So give back wherever you can. There's a huge reason I started my foundation. I lend my voice to UNICEF, Girl Up, and causes that I'm associated with, because we have one world and it's ours, and we need to heal it, and that starts with us. So that is my rule number 11. Give back. And finally, the most important one. Always remember where you came from. It's truly what defines you. So I'm a proud Indian, an army ki beti, daughter of 2 doctors with a middle-class upbringing and ginormous families, who I love on both sides. We've seen good times, we've seen bad times, we've seen hardships, we've seen pain, laughter, sadness. But that is what has made me who I am. And I wear that with pride every day and everywhere that I go. So last and definitely not the least, rule number 12, don't ever forget your roots and where you came from.
What's the first thing you do when you go back to Mumbai, India?
I take the long drive home from the airport and I put the windows down and let the wind flirt with my hair.
If you and I were to spend 73 hours in India together, what would we be doing?
Okay, we will be eating so much, we will party so much, and then I'll make sure I take you on a rickshaw because that's a must.
Can you tell me a misconception Americans have about India?
That we all have arranged marriages and that we speak a language called Indian. It's like saying I speak American.
Okay. Can you tell me a misconception Indians have about Americans?
That all Americans are super rich and you can sue anyone here, though that might be true.
What is the single greatest thing about America?
That it's the land of the free and the home of the brave, and cheeseburgers.
What?
Not by everyone, but just by like a few bullies in school that hated me, and high school's hard for everyone. But so I was in a very weird sort of teenage place, and when Miss India happened, I'm inherently competitive. I think the fact that I was competitive pushed me to teach myself to be confident. Initially, I faked it till I made it. I was just like, I'm not gonna let anyone see that I'm scared, or I'm not gonna let anyone see that I'm affected. And over time, I realized, like, as a woman, as a girl in this world, if I allow myself to be hurt, or if I allow myself to be affected, that's all I'm going to be. And I'm not, trying to say that it's an issue that just women have. It's not easy to be a woman in show business, and especially a woman who's opinionated, especially someone who I'm sort of like, and I wasn't like that from the beginning. I sort of learned. So confidence is something I taught myself over the years. I started becoming okay with who I am. I became the best version of me. And then I sort of said, I'm okay, I'm all right. Even if someone else thinks this, I'm okay. And everyone can do that. People just don't realize it. I was always creative in school, but I didn't know what to do with it. I used to write, I did plays, I would do school, but my aspiration was never to be creative. And now that I've found this vocation, I'm producing, I write columns, my creativity comes out in whatever way it can. And I think somehow something guides you. What that is, I don't know. I don't have a name for it. I don't think it's a religion. I don't know if it's God. I don't know what it is. But I think something is bigger than us. And I believe in that. Well, when I became Miss India, I sort of was on strange ground myself, because I was in college, I was studying, and now I'm suddenly Miss World, and I was traveling all over the world, being an ambassador, and suddenly movie offers started coming to me from India, because I think producers thought that it would make business sense to, have Miss World in a movie, and I guess it did, because in my second films, like I won a lot of awards. I didn't think I could act. I just went in there with the idea of, okay, I can learn a new skill set. I may not know what acting is about, but I can learn. So that's how I taught myself. I've never been to film school. I taught my career has been my film school. I've fallen down, I've dusted myself off. I've been okay to fail. I don't like failure. I'll never let the same failure happen to me again, because knowledge. I like learning from the people around me, and I don't think anyone reaches a point, no matter how successful you are in life, where you can't learn something new. And I think that sort of lifetimes do a job that they love doing. I'm a simple girl who came out of army school from Bareilly. I represent each and every one of these people who's sitting here today. Because if I can be sitting here, every one of them can.
She's a fantastic actress, and not only she has proved over here in India, but even internationally.
I don't want to be called an actor. I don't want to be called a star. I don't want to have a label. I want to have a legacy.
Actor female Priyanka Chopra for Barfi.
Let your dreams fly. Give them wings. Be who you want to be.